Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, Howard Lutnick has finally been revealed for the piece of that he truly is. The weasel, the guy in the background always hovering, maniacally laughing, has finally been called out for what we kind of knew all along. Why is he always laughing in the background? That's not normal behavior. Now, he claimed that he had only seen or met Epstein one time, and he saw a massage table and he was skeeved out by it, and him and his wife left.
He opens the doors and there's a massage table in the middle of the room. Ooh. And candles all around and stuff. Massage table in the middle of your house? How often do you have a massage? And he says, every day. And then he gets weirdly close to me. Ooh. And he says, and the right kind of massage. I'm sorry. We have to go. And we left. And in the 6 or 8 steps it takes to get from his house to my house, my wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again.
These two, if you're not aware, lived across the street from each other for 15 years. Well, the files were released, and it comes out that not only do they have a correspondence that goes on, but they actually may have had a business together. The files revealed that Mr. Lutnick, who had been a neighbor of Mr. Epstein, continued correspondence with Mr. Epstein long after the disgraced financier had been convicted of soliciting prostitution from a minor. Now, all of this information is coming out, and you can see very well why they did not want this information to be made public. Caroline Levitt goes, Secretary Lutnick remains a very important member of President Trump's team, and the president fully supports the secretary. Despicable. And this isn't a left versus right debate. The cultural division is over. This isn't 1999 anymore. Everyone needs to wake up and understand that both sides are, excuse my French, f***ing us. That's the way that it is. You have the billionaire class, the donor class, and then you have us. Meandering around, bumping into walls, fighting over things that are really inconsequential. It's becoming very evident that that's the case. I think we all intuitively knew it. These files are just helping clarify things. Here are a few strange coincidences regarding Lutnick. He survived the 9/11 due to his son's kindergarten day. Now, by the way, he spent most of his days at the World Trade Center. His business was operated out of there. He was always there. But for whatever reason, on that day, he didn't show up, right? He didn't show up. Strange coincidence. Maybe it's just a weird thing. Okay. Lutnick allegedly forced an Israeli loyalty test on the White House staff. That's disgusting, right? Because America first, right? You wouldn't do, I can't imagine a world where in Israel, let's say, the president would be running tests to deem whether or not his team were loyal to America, right? That would be just ridiculous. These two are self-explanatory, right? He just happened to be Epstein's neighbor. He lied about cutting ties with Epstein. The guy who visited Epstein's island with his 4 kids in 2012. That's an important note, and that came out in the files. And most notably, really as more of a public display of just how much of a weirdo he is, the guy who thinks covering for pedophiles is funny. And again, we'll just pull this up, and you'll see him hackling in the background. Let me put my headphones on.
Pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible.
How can you possibly laugh knowing that you've had correspondences with this guy? And there, even if there was a sliver of a chance that the files would be dropped, how would you have the confidence to sit there and laugh on camera? I'll tell you why. Because he's a billionaire, right? And I don't mean he's privileged in a sense of white privilege. No, I'm talking about the motherfucker's privilege on a make a body disappear privilege. Levels that we can't even comprehend. I don't even have a proper analogy for it. Look at look at the sense of confidence this guy has. This is another situation where Epstein's brought up, and I want you to just watch how he reacts.
To Kevin, it's very good.
Mr. President, is Vice President Vance hosting a gathering this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
Is he working on what?
Is he hosting some kind of gathering of top advisors this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
I don't know. I could ask you that question. I don't know of it, but I think here's the man right here.
I saw it reported today, and it's completely fake news. We're not meeting to talk about the Epstein situation, and I think the reporter who reported it needs.
Oh, so that's going to be a side note that I'm going to talk about because I didn't plan on playing that part. Lutnick, what's so funny, you weasel. He had a full-blown business with Epstein. He lied on air. He works in the White House. He works for us. He serves you and I. And this guy is sitting there laughing in our faces. Then you have JD Vance saying it's fake news that we're talking about the Epstein files. They were trying to bury this shit so badly. He's complicit because he knew. These guys knew what was going on is my point. And yes, other presidencies covered it up. We've already established that. But this over here, JD Vance, this thick-faced creep, is it's fake news. We aren't going to talk about it. We have no interest in talking about it.
The whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats because
it's a hoax. He's saying the files are a hoax. He lied to us. He should be impeached. All of these people need to be dragged out. Let me just watch my mouth because I'm on YouTube. Let me not get carried away. But things should be done to them that are okay. They serve us. They betrayed us as a country. They betrayed the victims. And you can't get angry enough. There's not a hint of comedy in this video. I apologize. But I think this is a very serious situation. He called it a fucking hoax, knowing the details in those files. Protecting his little minions.
The history of our country. And that's just a way of trying to divert attention to something that's total bullshit. Okay.
Politicians on the left and the right will continue going forward to try to divert our attention. They'll do a UFO hoax. They'll Project Bluebeam us. They'll do all kinds of different tricks. They'll talk about the border more. Maybe they'll do a grid shutdown. We lose power. And there's going to be so many tricks that these motherfuckers try to play against us. More LGBTQ stuff's gonna pop up. More border talk. Not that those aren't real consequential things in the world, but ultimately they are designed to take up space in our psychological world so that we don't have the energy to focus on the controllers and the operators. And they are all a bunch of conniving pieces of shit.